Now we're going to do a close-up video here of how you could play over All of Me. So basically, you've got a couple of options. You can play the C major scale, which means you start on C, and then you play 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the first two and the second two have a fret in between. You're skipping frets. And then this one is right next to your third finger. Now, when you go to the next string, it's exactly the same as the low string. That's the C major scale, and that works perfectly over All of Me. Now, if you change that a little and take the first group of notes and leave off the fourth finger, and then on the next group, leave off the third finger. So that's finger 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 4. That becomes the C major pentatonic scale. That works just as well. That's a great scale to use also. Now, since we're in the key of C, you have to remember that most chords will be in the key of C, and you'll use one of those two scales over those. Now, in the key of C, the 5 chord C, D, E, F, G is a part of the key. So if you run into any G7s, they're just a part of the C key. So you can still play C major or C major pentatonic. Any other 7 chord, for example, E7 or A7 or D7, which all occur in this song, you don't have to watch out for those. But if you want to play something that's a little more interesting, you go to the root of the chord. For example, E7, you play first finger on E, and then you play what we call Mixolydian mode. So Mixolydian mode will sound like this. So there's one note different, this one right here, between the major scale and Mixolydian mode. So major is 1, 2, 3, 4 with a whole step and a whole step and a half step. And then it will go same thing. Mixolydian mode, you take this third finger and back it up. So now there's a half step between fingers 2 and 3. So it looks like this. The frets would be 2, 4, 6, and 7, just like the major scale. But then here it's 2, 4, 5, not 6, 5, and 7. Now listen to this. Here's the C chord and the C major scale. Now here's the E7 chord and the E Mixolydian. The next one is A7. So we find the note A and we play that Mixolydian mode. That's frets 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, 7, and then we get D minor. So there, since it's a D minor chord, we just play in the key of C again. Then on E7, which comes next in the tune, we go back to E Mixolydian. And then we have A minor. And that's not a 7 chord. It's not anything strange for the key. So we just stay in the C major pentatonic or C major scale. Then we have a D7. There we can use D Mixolydian. So on open would be 0, 2, 4, 5, 0, 2, 3, 5. Closed, you could do that in any place you find the note D. So for example, here on the 5th fret, 2nd string, Mixolydian mode. There's that half step here. Instead of there, it's back a fret. Then after the D7, we go to D minor. Just a regular old C major or major pentatonic. G7. And remember, G7 is a part of the key since it's the 5 chord of C. C, D, E, F, G. So you just play the regular old C scale over that G7, and then we resolve that back to C, and you're using the C scale there. So the second half, the second ending with the F and the F minor and the C, that's going to be exactly like the first half. When you see that A7, can use a mixolydian, starts on A, has that different shape than the major scale. So go through the song and just see if you can appropriately play the C scale and then mixolydian as the chords pass. Go really slow and just think chords. Think C and then C major, E7, E mixolydian, A7, A mixolydian, then D minor. And remember, that's not a 7 chord. It's not out of the key. So we just stick with the old C major. And do that through the entire piece, and you will start to develop the skill you need to solo over this tune using the chords as they pass instead of the same scale every time. So thanks for listening, and I will see you soon in another video.